What is up, 412? We are here. I say we because Sav is with me this week, and I'm so excited. She's going to preach this entire message to you guys, and I'm going to sit here and smile and look pretty.
Not true.
Okay, so what's happening is we are kicking off a brand new series called Popular. Sav was popular in high school. I was not. It's part of it. So we're excited. We're going to jump right into it this week. And who do you think the most famous person on earth is? Any guesses?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, hashtag The Last Dance. Let's go. I'm back. Maybe you're thinking of a musician. Maybe you're thinking of an athlete, LeBron James. Maybe you're thinking of a YouTuber. And while we're all probably thinking of someone different, I bet we can agree that all popular people have influence, right?
Yes.
Okay, so popular people have people's attention. What they do and what they say matters to the people around them. And their popularity gives them the ability to lead or influence other people, sometimes for the better, sometimes for worse. You know, we often think about influence as something that only popular or famous or important people have. And then that leaves us, we miss out on the chance for us to have influence on the people around us.
Yes, and questioning if we have the power to influence those around us isn't a new thing. In fact, people have been wondering about their potential to lead and influence others for a really long time.
Long time.
We're going to read about a time when Jesus was leading, serving, and living here on earth.
Yes,
and during this time, I think we can all agree that Jesus had a ton of influence.
Absolutely.
And when the story picks up, Jesus was focused on one thing: feeding a group of thousands of people.
Love this story.
So let's see what happened in John 6, starting in verse 8. Then Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "There's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is that with this huge crowd?" "Tell everyone to sit down," Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The men alone numbered about 5,000.
Okay, so just real quick, for most of you know, I'm not good at math.
At all.
Thank you. So John wrote that there was 5,000 men in the crowd. That's not including women and children. So to think that this crowd was a lot bigger than 5,000, including the women and children, is crazy. And in the crowd was a young boy who had packed his dinner, but the only problem was the kid only packed 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. For those of you that are visual like me,
And me.
this is what this kid had: 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. This is what this kid had for dinner. He's like me and Sav. He likes bread. Gotta carb up. Gotta stay warm. Okay, Sav, verse 11.
Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. Afterwards, he did the same with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, "Now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted." So they picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets with scraps left by the people who had eaten from the 5 barley loaves.
You know what's crazy to me is that it wasn't that everyone got to eat, it was that everyone was full, and then there's enough for the 12 disciples left over.
Yeah.
So the disciples took this young boy's food, which is, like I said, 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish, gave it to Jesus. Jesus prayed over it and began handing it out. Now, if I were that kid, first of all, I would be nervous because these 12 guys just took my dinner.
I'd be mad.
Yes, she needs her dinner, let me tell you. Second of all, Jesus expected 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish to feed this humongous crowd. Now, if I was this young boy, I would be sweating bullets at about this time. But this kid didn't seem to have enough to offer. He didn't have enough to give. He didn't have enough to do anything worthwhile for these people. He just had his dinner. But still, this kid let Jesus use what he had. Man, that's good. And what happened? Jesus kept passing and kept passing and kept passing until there was enough food to feed every single person. Like I said earlier, until they were full. By the time they finished, there was enough for 12 baskets of leftovers for each disciple. Man, that's crazy.
Now, there are a lot of amazing things about this story, but we want to zoom in on just one part. Jesus could have fed this huge crowd of hungry people any way he wanted to. He could have made it rain bread from heaven.
Which
I
would be
wish that
sick.
would happen. Or he could have commanded the fish to flop out of the sea.
I try that every time I go fishing. Doesn't
He
work.
fails. But he didn't. Instead, he used the boy's dinner. Jesus saw that the boy had something to give.
Yep.
And Jesus chose to use it to make an impact. By doing that, Jesus made this boy's dinner into so much more. Let's see how the passage ends. When the people saw him do this miraculous sign, they exclaimed, "Surely he is the prophet we have been expecting."
The people saw what Jesus did with what this kid brought, and because of that, they started to believe in him. The kid wasn't super important. He wasn't popular. He didn't have influence. You know, most of that crowd probably didn't even know this kid's name. He didn't go there with intentions to have influence. But because he just brought what he had, Jesus allowed him to be a part of influencing thousands of people that day and today, and he'll continue to have influence. And, you know, I love that. He just allowed Jesus to use what he had. It wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But just because he said, you know, Jesus, I'm giving you what I have. I'm giving you all that I have today. You can use it. And he did. And, it's just, I love it.
And what we want you to take away from this is if Jesus could use a young boy with his small dinner to make an impact over 2,000 years ago, he can use you just how you are today.
Absolutely.
He can use whatever you have to give right now to make a massive impact. And here's the main point. Write it down like Seth always says.
Circle it.
Because just like this boy, Jesus can use whatever you have to do big things.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm just going to take a minute and brag on you guys. Sav can jump in whenever she wants, but we know you, we love you, and we know that each and every one of you has a lot more than 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. You are talented, you are smart,
You have a gift.
Each one of you have a gift that God has placed specifically in your life. So our challenge, not my challenge, our challenge is for you to allow God to use your gift. I know that times are still weird and crazy and not normal, but God can still use you right now. So I just want to encourage you guys, ask God, pray that, write it down in your journal, ask God to allow you to use your gift during this time to influence people, to affect people, to encourage people. Yeah. But you have anything?
No, that's good. You got it.
All right. Hey, we love you guys. I'm going to eat these graham crackers and go fish. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.